Hello everyone. Welcome back once again in your biology class. This is Nausin and you are watching Educational Support. If you like this video, then press the subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it. So please watching till the end of my video. Today, I am sharing most important topic to everyone, that is, how does the respiratory system work? I really think it is a very simple explanation, especially for students who dream to pursue their career. So let's get going. You know that what is the respiratory system? The respiratory system is the network of organs and tissues that help you breathe. It includes your airways, lungs, and blood vessels. The muscles that power your lungs are also part of the respiratory system. These parts work together to move oxygen throughout the body and clean out waste gases like carbon dioxide. In my previous video, I was sharing upper and lower respiratory system in humans. If anyone missed my previous videos, then visit my educational support and link of my previous videos are given in my description box below. So go for it and subscribe it. So here I am presenting the function of respiratory system. What does the respiratory system do? The respiratory system has many functions. Besides helping you inhale, that means breathe in, and exhale, that means breathe out. It includes delivers oxygen to the cells in your body, protecting against inhaled particles, remove waste gases including carbon dioxide from the body when you exhale, allows you to talk and to smell, brings air to body temperature and moisture it. Now I am discussing the process of breathing. Within the nasal cavity, there are three separate turbinates: superior, middle, and inferior. Turbinates are also called conchae. Do you know what is the function of conchae? The conchae comprise most of the mucosal tissues of the nose and are required for functional respiration. They are enriched with airflow pressure and temperature sensing nerve receptors, that means linked to the trigeminal nerve root, the fifth cranial nerve, allowing for tremendous erectile capabilities of nasal congestion and decongestion in response to the weather conditions and changing needs to the body. The air passes through the trachea through the throat into the trachea. Do you know how does air enter the trachea? When you inhale through your nose or mouth, air travels down the pharynx back to your throat and passes through your larynx, that means voice box, and into your trachea, that is windpipe. Do you have any idea what is the opening into the trachea. The larynx is the upper opening into the windpipe, that means trachea. The passageway to the lungs. Epiglottis is a flap of soft tissues and cartilage located just above the vocal cords. The epiglottis folds down over the vocal cords to help prevent food and irritants from entering the lungs. Your trachea is divided into two air passages called bronchial tubes. One bronchial tube leads to the left lung, the other to the right lung. Each lung is divided into sections, that means lobes. 3 in the right lung and 2 in the left lung. The left lung is a little smaller than the right lung because it shares space in the left side of the chest with the heart. The air passes now divides into the two bronchi that takes the air to the right and left lung before dividing into smaller and smaller bronchioles that spread throughout the lungs to carry air to the alveoli. The bronchi themselves branch many times into smaller airways, ending in the narrowest airways, that means bronchioles, which are as small as 1/2 of millimeter across. The thousands of small air sacs, that means alveoli, are at the end of each bronchiole. This in turn divides into even narrower tubes. Each small tube ends in clusters of thin walled air sacs called alveoli. It is the alveoli that receive the oxygen and pass it on to the blood. The alveoli are surrounded by tiny blood vessels called capillaries. The alveoli and the capillaries both have every thin walls which allow the oxygen to pass from the alveoli to the blood. The capillaries then connect to larger blood vessels called veins, which bring the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. The largest veins that do this work are called the pulmonary veins, and they connect directly to the heart. Here I am discussing what are alveolar capillaries or alveolar capillary network. The capillaries are very tiny blood vessels that connect the alveoli to larger blood vessels. When a person breathes in air, oxygen travels to the lungs and into the alveoli. It passes through the walls of the alveoli into the capillaries and into the bloodstream to be carried throughout the body. So viewers, if you enjoyed this video or learned anything, then press a like button and don't forget to subscribe. Did you know what happens between the alveoli and the capillaries? Gas exchange takes place in the millions of alveoli in the lungs and the capillaries that envelop them. As shown below, inhaled oxygen moves from the alveoli to the blood in the capillaries and carbon dioxide removed from the blood in the capillaries to the air in the alveoli. This picture represents gaseous exchange between the alveoli and the capillaries. Do you have any idea what happens when we breathe in? During inspiration, that means inhalation, the diaphragm contact moves down, rib cage upward and outward, air pressure drops, lung volume expands, which fill up with air from the mouth and nose. The air moves through tubes in the lungs to tiny air sacs called alveoli. Oxygen passes from this into the blood, which carries the oxygen to all the cells in the body. Did you know what happens when we breathe out? During expiration, that means exhalation, diaphragm relaxes, moves up, returns to the resting position, rib cage moves down, air pressure increases, lungs recoil passively and forces air out. Carbon dioxide from the alveoli flows up through the lungs and out through the mouth and nose. So here I am showing that why are alveoli surrounded by blood capillaries? The layer of the moisture in the alveoli shows gases to dissolve so that they can diffuse quickly. The alveoli have a very large total surface area and a very good blood supply provided by the dense network of capillaries that surround them. Next is, why does carbon dioxide move from the capillaries to the alveoli? The partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the capillaries is much higher than that in the alveoli. This means that net diffusion occurs into the alveoli from the capillaries. The carbon dioxide then be exhaled as the partial pressure in the alveoli is also higher than the partial pressure in the external environment. So alright, that's gonna do it how respiratory system works in human. In my next video, I will going to sharing about more related topics. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you have something to say, please leave a comment. To know more about the biology topic, then keep visiting Educational Support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.